Hello everyone, very good morning. Welcome to Testbook Supercoaching for regulatory bodies and welcome back to our session where we are going to discuss about the important current affairs regarding the economics, banking, finance as well as for the RBI grade B exams. So general current affairs we are going to discuss. So again, before going to start this session, before going to initiate this session, if you have any questions, any kind of queries, please let me know in the comment section and then we will start discussing today's current affairs. So first of all, we will discuss few MCQs for the revision sake, for the revision purpose, and then afterwards we will start discussing our rest of the current affairs. Tomorrow, Saturday, we are going to conduct the speed test, which is based on the weekly current affairs. So speed test will be tomorrow. So remember that. Don't forget to join that test also. So we'll start, guys. Once again, very good morning to you all. बस एक बार मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बता दीजिएगा, am I audible to all or not? Audible, visible, सब कुछ सही है कि नहीं है? बस एक बार वो कंफर्म कर दीजिएगा, and then we will start with the session. Yes. Another thing, this is the Telegram channel from where you can join us. You can get the PDFs, you can get the information about the coming sessions. So everything will be available, updated in this particular Telegram group. Other than that, if you are yet to subscribe our channel, please एक बार channel को भी subscribe कर दीजिएगा. So yes guys, we'll start and the first question is on your screen. India-Australia Economic Cooperation and the Trade Agreement called as the India-Australia ECTA completes 2 years of remarkable success, driving mutual growth and showcasing the complementary of both economies. By how much did bilateral merchandise trade increase after signing India-Australia ECTA? In the year 2022, we signed this agreement called as a Economic Cooperation and the Trade Agreement with Australia. Anthony Albanese is the Prime Minister of this country and India signed this agreement. It's kind of one of the version of the free trade agreement which we have signed. So the question is that what exactly the benefit of signing this agreement? So answer of this question is it is more than the double. So when it comes to trade between these two countries, it kind of a double between these two countries. So now we are planning to extend this agreement into the different category, and the new category will be called as a Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. So in the future, we are planning to extend this agreement towards the CECA. CECA is kind of a upgraded version of the ECTA, is kind of a very strong version of the free trade agreement where almost every kind of trade between these two countries will be non-tariff barrier free or the tariff barrier free, and that will be the major focus. Now the plan of both the governments regarding this CECA is that more than 100 billion Australian dollar should be the trade valuation between these two countries. So the plan around CECA is that 100 billion Australian dollar should be the trade between the two countries, India and Australia. So we are right now in negotiation phase with respect to the CECA. Negotiations can get delayed due to elections, the upcoming elections in Australia. So in the month of May, there will be federal elections in Australia, and due to that, might be these negotiations can get delayed. Otherwise, mostly we are planning that till the coming financial year, we should sign these CECA. That is a plan of Government of India. But let's hope for the better things. Yes, we'll go to the next question. What is the projected growth rate for the Indian economy in 25 according to Deloitte? Deloitte is one of the very famous financial auditing firm, and according to Deloitte, what will be India's GDP when it comes to financial year 25? They gave the range, they gave the proper range for the GDP. So what can be the GDP of India according to them? Finance Ministry discuss about 6.5% as the GDP of our country. RBI is talking about 6.6% as the GDP of our country for the coming for this financial year. So let's see what is the answer of this particular question. So between 6.5 to 6.8, that is the range given by the Deloitte. They gave this range. Now the other GDP numbers, like we have already discussed about the Deloitte, 6.5 to 6.8 for 24 And for 26, they talked about 6.7 to 7.3. India rating is talking about 6.4. Asian Development Bank 6.5. S&P 6.8. RBI 6.6. Morgan Stanley 6.3. Moody's rating is for the calendar year, and they are giving a very less rating almost to every country in the world. Then IMF and World Bank, they aid to provide the updated number. अभी तक इन दोनों के updated number आए नहीं है. जैसे ये number आ जाएंगे, so we are going to get the proper information. So that is another question for us. Next, Haryana government has decided to increase the maximum limit of death cum retirement gratuity for state government employees by 25%. What will be the new maximum limit of death cum retirement gratuity for Haryana state government employees starting from the 1st of Jan? Gratuity is basically given to the employees for few years of service condition. कुछ साल अगर आप किसी एम्प्लॉयर के साथ जॉब करते हो, उसके बाद आपको ग्रेजुएटी के बेनिफिट्स मिलते हैं. दिस बेनिफिट्स विल बी प्रोवाइडेड आफ्टर द रिटायरमेंट और आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ द एम्प्लॉय. अगर जॉब करते हुए अगर आपकी डेथ हो जाती है तो तब भी ये फंड्स आपको दिए जाएंगे. सो द क्वेश्चन इज what will be the maximum amount provided by the Haryana government for the gratuity? Obviously, state governments will decide the gratuity limit for their own employees. So it will be depending on the state governments. So they recently gave the number is 25 lakh. So from the 1st of Jan 2025, the new gratuity limit, the maximum limit is of 25 lakh. So आपके सर्विस कंडीशंस पे, आपके सर्विस ईयर्स पे ये डिपेंड करेगा that how much gratuity you are going to get. So 25 lakh is the answer of this question. Now 25% increase being given by the Haryana government in this recent announcement, which is by the state government of Haryana. Can you tell me who is the chief minister of the state of Haryana? Please let me know the name of the chief minister of the state of Haryana. So again, for the static point of view, will be really very important. I'll go to the next question. The next question is from the sports section, and this is very important because the new Asian Boxing Authority, new Asian Boxing Council is being created by the World Boxing Authority. So regarding that, the question is in front of you. So interim, that is for time being, Asian body for the boxing is being created. So the interim Asian body was established by the World Boxing Organization. Laulina Borgohain is one of the member of the Athletes Commission of this body. Ajay Singh has been appointed as the chairperson of the interim body. So Asian Boxing Authority is being restructured by the World Boxing Association, and around that this question is in front of you. Of course, they do ask question regarding sports in our phase 1 exam, so that's why we should have some idea about this. Yes guys, any one of you? Yes, Naib Singh Saini is the chief minister of Haryana. Very good, absolutely right answer. Now the first point is absolutely right. The interim Asian body was established by the World Boxing Organization. The first point is right. Laulina Borgohain is one of the member of the Athletes Commission of this body. This is also right. 3 athletes been appointed in this commission. So one of the athlete is from India, Laulina Borgohain. Ajay Singh is not the chairperson. He is the member of this interim body, not the chairperson. So chairperson is a wrong statement. He is the member of this body. There are near about 4 or 5 Indians as the member of this body, and Indian Boxing Federation giving the higher responsibility to create or to stabilize the Asian Boxing Council. So World Boxing Authority, they gave Indian Boxing Federation a kind of a very important responsibility because there are so many Indians in this Asian Boxing body, but chairperson is not Ajay Singh. So answer of this question is 1 and 2. Ajay Singh is also the owner, the CEO of SpiceJet. SpiceJet, everyone knows that aviation company. Ajay Singh is a founder, CEO of this SpiceJet Aviation. ये भी factor याद रखिएगा. Now next, which organization has awarded the Great Place to Work certification to Steel Authority of India for Jan 2025, Jan 2026. So for this 1 year Great Place to Work, this certification is given by which authority to Steel Authority of India? Steel Authority of India is one of the very important government organization. Amrendru sir is the right now chairperson of this authority. In 1956 we created this authority. In 1973 this authority became the kind of a commercial firm under the government of India. So that is another important case. So yes, what will be the answer of this? Answer is very simple. Great Place to Work Institute is the name of the institute. They gave this certification. It's a HR based, human resource based organization, and they gave this certification to the Steel Authority of India for consecutive second year. Which country's regulatory authority has granted approval for Doha Insurance Group to establish reinsurance branch in India? Reinsurance. In India, for overall India, we have only one reinsurance company, and that reinsurance company is GIC. GIC Reinsurance is the only reinsurance company right now working in India. Reinsurance means what? When the insurance companies required insurance policy, when insurance companies create their insurance policy, that is called as a reinsurance. उसे हम usually reinsurance कहते हैं. So now recently, Doha Insurance Group, they want to establish one branch in India, and for that purpose, Qatar Central Bank gave them the permission that now they can open one branch in India. Again, they are yet to open branch in India. They want to open the branch in India, and for that purpose, Qatar Central Bank gave them the permission. Okay, go and open the branch in India. In India, where they are going to open the branch, their branch will be in the GIFT City. In Gujarat International Financial Tech City, they are going to establish their branch. So this GIFT City branch is not going to work for the rest of India. It is only going to work under this GIFT City, under this IFSCA. उसी के अंदर ये काम करेगा. For the rest of the India, we have right now only one reinsurance company, and that is called GIC Reinsurance. GIC earlier was the general insurance company, but now working as a reinsurance, which we all know about. I'll go to the next part. The next question. The Ministry of Defense has signed contract with which company for DRDO made air dependent propulsion system worth nearly 1990 crore? So that's the question in front of you. Can you give me the answer of this? Yes, answer is Mazga Dock Shipbuilders Limited. Now DRDO made air independent propulsion system will be manufactured by Mumbai based Mazga Dock Shipbuilders. Mazga Dock Shipbuilders is a very, very famous company, especially regarding shipbuilding. Recently, on the 15th of June, this Mazga Dock Shipbuilders is going to provide 3 vessels to Indian Navy. One will be submarine, that is Vakshir. Another is the INS Surat, and another ship. Can you tell me the name of the third ship which will be provided by this particular company to Indian Navy? We already discussed about that. We already talked about that on 15th of January, there will be an official function, and in that function, these 3 vessels will be delivered to Indian Navy by Mazga Dock Shipbuilders Limited. One is a destroyer, one is a frigate ship, and another will be the submarine, Scorpion class submarine. So Vakshir is a Scorpion class submarine, then INS Nilgiri is a frigate ship, and destroyer is INS Surat. These 3 ships will be provided by the Mazga Dock Shipbuilders Limited, and another agreement signed by the Defense Ministry costing 1990 for the creation of air independent propulsion system. This system is created by DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. Yes, next question. Who has been appointed as a new CEO of DBS Bank India? DBS, Development Bank of Singapore. So DBS Bank India's new CEO. So that's his or her name is being asked over here. So he's the new CEO of Development Bank of Singapore. Yes, answer of this question is Rajat Verma. Rajat Verma will be the new CEO of Development Bank of Singapore. Either it's a foreign bank, or it's an Indian bank, or it's a public sector bank. If you want to appoint the new CEO, if you want to reappoint the CEO, you need to take the permission from RBI, and RBI give green signal regarding the Rajat Verma's appointment. Now we'll talk about the Development Bank of Singapore. It is one of the best bank in the world. 1968 we created this bank, or Singapore established this bank. Headquarters is in Singapore. Peter Seh is the chairperson of this bank. Right now Piyush Gupta is the CEO, but from the March 2025 the new CEO will be Tan Su Shan. So she will be the new CEO from March 2025. Right now, Piyush Gupta is the CEO of Development Bank of Singapore, a global CEO, by the way. Okay. And when it comes to Indian business, Rajat Verma will be the CEO only for the Indian region. And that is another factor for the exam point of view. The former US President and 2002 Nobel Peace Prize winner Jimmy Carter passed away recently at the age of 100. For what reason Jimmy Carter awarded for 2002 Nobel Peace Prize? 2002 का Nobel Peace Prize Jimmy Carter साहब को क्यों दिया गया? That's the question in front of you. One of the very famous person, one of the very famous US President. He was also fond of India. He visited India. He gave his speech in Indian Parliament. So very, very famous personality. In 1978, he visited India. In 1977, he became the US President. So the question is, in 2002, why he got the Nobel Peace Prize? He created Carter Foundation. After his tenure as a US President, he created one Carter Foundation, and that foundation worked with the diplomatic stuff, especially to create the peace talks, to establish the peace beyond in some regions, and for that his efforts he got the Nobel Peace Prize. So to promote social and economical justice, especially in the Gulf countries, especially in some Asian region, for his work with his foundation, he got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. So in 1982, he created Carter Center. This is one of the foundation he created under for the sake of world diplomacy, and under that work, under that foundation, under that Carter Center, he got this Nobel Peace Prize, one of the very famous president from the USA. Okay, now we'll start with today's discussion. Now we'll start with today's news. And before going to start this news, we have Laksh 2.0 batch, which is already started. And in this batch, phase 1, phase 2, as well as interview, all those things we are going to cover for you people. So don't forget to enroll into this batch. And if you want to enroll into this batch, you can get the discount. And for that discount, you can use this coupon code PUSHPAK. This coupon code will give you a very good discount in this batch. Okay, so we'll start. And the first news in front of you. Government constitutes panel to reject the wholesale price index. Now, wholesale price index, especially we want to change the base year of the wholesale price index. That is a major purpose of Government of India. Wholesale price index is the monthly data given by the economic advisor of Commerce and Industry Ministry. So Economic Advisory Council of the Commerce and Industry Ministry is responsible to provide the data when it respect to the wholesale price index. Now they are planning to change the base year. Already we saw there was one committee created by Government of India, and that committee gave the recommendation that especially for the GDP or for the CPI, the base year should be 22-23. And the committee's name is Goldar Committee. Goldar Committee gave the recommendation that the new base year, especially for the GDP calculations, for the CPI calculation, should be 22-23. And this new base year will be implemented from Feb 26. Feb 26 से नए base year implement किए जाएंगे. But for WPI, they have their own system, they have their own ways. They are also planning to change the base year to 22-23. तो ये भी 2022-23 को base year बनाने की उनकी सोच है, और ये चाहते हैं कि तब तक उसे बनाया जाए. And they are planning to change this base year from the June 26. They are planning. Okay, still not confirmed. They are just planning to change the base year, and the new base year should be implemented from the June 2026. That is the plan for WPI. That is the plan of Commerce Ministry. Now, for that purpose, Commerce Ministry created one committee, and the committee is headed by Ramesh Chand Sir. Ramesh Chand Sir is a member of Niti Aayog. So he is going to be the chairperson of this committee, and which will give some recommendations regarding WPI. Not only for base year, but if they want to make some changes under WPI, that will be another suggestion by this committee. Last time we saw one news that Commerce Ministry was thinking to replace WPI with PPI, called as a Producers Price Index. So they were thinking that WPI should be replaced by the PPI. But that idea, I guess, being dropped by them. But again, we will see what Ramesh Chand committee is going to suggest, because that committee is not only going to talk about the base year, that committee will also talk about some other stuff under WPI, under wholesale price index. Wholesale price index is the monthly data provided by, again, Commerce and Industry Ministry, and this data is only focusing on the goods or the commodities, whereas Consumer Price Index or the CPI given by the Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation is focusing on goods as well as the services, and that's why India's headline inflation is depending on CPI rather than WPI. WPI don't have any kind of range, any kind of a tolerance level, whereas CPI is having one range and the tolerance level, that is 4% plus minus 2%. Again, remember that differentiating points. Right now, we only should have one idea, that is who is the chairperson or who is going to give the advice regarding the new stuff about WPI, and that committee is called as a Ramesh Chand committee. Another pointer, Goldar committee. Remember that Goldar committee gave recommendation regarding the new base year for GDP and the CPI calculation, which we are going to implement from the Feb 2026, and the new base year will be 22-23. That is important factor. Okay, we'll go to the next news. Front running, SEBI bans Ketan Parekh and 21 others. Ketan Parekh, one of the very infamous person when it comes to Indian share market. Harshad Mehta and then Ketan Parekh scam. So Ketan Parekh, he committed a huge scam in Indian share market, and now SEBI decided to ban Ketan Parekh and 21 others from the Indian stock market. So again, a very, very important. Now there are some other stockbrokers, for example, Rohit Salgaonkar, Ketan Parekh from alleged involved into 66 crore wrongful gains. Now what exactly, for our exam point of view, their names doesn't matter. For our exam point of view, what is the meaning of front running? That matters. When it comes to such kind of news, like when SEBI banning someone, when SEBI putting some ban on some institution or some brokers or some individual, the major reason they are going to ask in the exam is that, or the major factor they are going to focus in the exam is that, what is the reason behind the ban? What is the reason behind such kind of restrictions by the SEBI? So front running. Now what is front running? The front running is the concept in which basically, suppose for example, I am working from some company, or I am working for some mutual fund, or I'm a broker. I'm having some information. Okay, I'm having some information that something is going to happen with the company, something is going to be changed in the company. So what I will do, I will leak that information. I will give that information so that some people will manage their place in the share market to gain the profit. Okay, they will accordingly place their shares in the share market so that they can gain the profit. So this is not ethical. This is absolutely not ethical. So under the front runner or under the front running, some illegal information will be shared, or some information will be shared in like prior to actual incidents होने से पहले ही information share की जाएगी, and depending on that information, these investors, these shareholders will place or will secure their place so that they can gain from such kind of incidences. That is called as a front running. So is a trading of stocks or any other financial asset by a broker who has inside knowledge of a future transaction that is about to affect its price substantially. A broker may also front run the based on the insider knowledge that the firm is about to issue or buy or sell the recommendation. So इसके भरोसे वो changes करते हैं. Insider trading is a very famous concept. It is just like a insider trading, but here insider trading is done by basically the company or the employees of the company. Here it is not exactly the insider trading, but the broker is using the sophisticated information or some inside information to handle or to get the gain or to create the gain for certain investors. So that is the case. So brokers are responsible for the front running. When it comes to insider trading, the employees of the company, they are basically responsible for that. This front running is also called as the tailgating. इसको tailgating भी कहा जाता है. One and the same thing. So examiner can ask both the pointers. The meaning of both the pointers are absolutely same. In some countries they are called as the tailgating. In some countries they are called as the front running. So Ketan Parekh is being banned by the SEBI once again for front running. What he used to do basically, okay, what he did, Ketan Parekh was already banned earlier. Okay, then the ban was removed, everything was normal. Again, Ketan Parekh started committing the frauds, and what he did, he took the various phone numbers on different names. Okay, and he was showing that he was suggesting some shareholders like we need to do that and you need to do this and etc etc. So he was sharing the internal information through these fake numbers and showing that he is getting information from the genuine brokers or some authority. Basically he himself was handling that that situation and sharing the information with various investors, and it was actually a fake information he created through these fake phone numbers. And there were so many other stuff he was doing, so many other fake companies he created, and through that, those fake companies, through that fake shares, he handled this kind of market. So he created inflated market. He created a fake kind of a demand and fake kind of a supply, and due to that, market movements were manipulated by Ketan Parekh and his team, and that's why this ban is being put by the SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. So remember that factor. Now we'll go to the another news, and the news is very important regarding the Bharat Connect may go live by the March. Now Bharat Connect will be the new product by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. Earlier, you might have heard about Bharat Bill Pay. Bharat Bill Pay was a concept which was created by the UPI. Now Bharat Bill Pay will be renamed as and again relaunched by the NPCI in the month of May, will be called as a Bharat Connect. Bharat Connect is for business to business purpose. Bharat Connect is for business to business purpose. Like for example, Phone Pay, Google Pay, they are the fintech companies. They are taking the help of UPI. They are taking the help of Aadhaar enabled payment systems or the FASTag mechanism for the money transaction. Now the same fintech companies will also provide the new NPCI tool that will be called as a Bharat Connect for business to business transaction. Again, suppose for example, if any business entity is having invoices, okay, and if they want to sell those invoices, if they want to borrow the money against the invoices, we call as a factoring. So that can be also used under this Bharat Connect. So Bharat Connect will be the new tool under National Payment Corporation of India, and this tool will be useful for B2B transactions, for business to business transaction. That is the major focus behind this Bharat Connect. Again, this Bharat Connect will provide some extra facilities. For example, the factoring services will be provided, some invoice maintenance will be provided, some financial transactions related to the business entities will be provided, and that will be the case over here. So Bharat Bill Pay is now renamed and relaunched as the Bharat Connect in the month of May. That is the news for us. That's it. again, when it will be launched with the proper features, we are again going to look into this news when they are going to launch this particular factor. Okay. Okay. Mukund Kumar, look, if we are changing the base year, if suppose we are changing the base year, okay, the base year change is really very important because it will be depending on current situation. Look what happens. If we are using the base year 11-12 right now, okay, or we'll use the base year 2005-2006, okay, those base years will be very old. We are living in 2025. So we want to compare the present situation with such kind of base year which is more relevant. If we'll compare the present situation with 2005-6 or 11-12, it will be a very old situation because economy is changing every decade. Economy is shifting its focus every decade. So we want the base year which is nearby to the current year, So usually every country is keeping its base year in the same decade itself because it will give more realistic numbers. It will give more realistic comparison. But when it comes to theoretical understanding, theoretical knowledge, we love to stick with the old base years. We love to stick with the old base year because those base years were more less impacted with the global scenario, less impacted with the environmental scenario. That's why we love those base years theoretically. But if you think practically, we can't compare our economy with 2005-2006. The focus of that time was very different. The global scenario was very different. Might be abhi global impact zyada hota hoga, might be abhi environmental impact zyada hota hoga, but still it is more relevant that we should live in a present era. That's why this base year should be good, and these kind of base years will actually reflect the realistic base scenario in the present situation because global economy changed completely after 2020 or 2021 due to COVID-19. Many things change. The geopolitics again change. Ukraine-Russia war, Israel-Hamas war, even Iran-Israel war. So many things change. Even the Syria conflict also having some impact on the global economy. And that's why we should have the recent base year so that we can have a proper numbers, we can have the good numbers. That is the case. Okay. Yes, there are always debatable topic. This is always a debatable topic. Okay, many people will not accept these base years, many people will suggest some another base year, but finally government of India needs to finalize some or the other base year, and that's why we create the committee. And for exam point of view, we should have the understanding about the committee. Obviously conceptual clarity should be there. Topics are debatable, that you should have your own view. They're always welcome, those views. Okay, but again, for the exam point of view, there are some factors we need to accept. Okay, fine. I'll go to the next point, and the next news we have. NBFC calls for reforms to improve the liquidity. Now, budget is coming. Look, budget 25-26 is coming. In the month of Feb, in the 1st of Feb, finance minister is going to present the budget. And before the presentation of budget in India, the finance ministry or the finance minister taking meetings with different sectors of the economy, and she discussed few points with NBFCs also. NBFCs basically want some reforms because there are so many restrictions on NBFCs that they are not going to perform properly, and that's why NBFC wants some breather from the government of India. So what kind of expectations NBFC is having from the government of India, we'll just keep a watch on them. Their wish list is that dedicated fund for the sectors like MSMEs, EVs, infra and the green energy. Now government as well as RBI and NBFC all are on the same page regarding this. Government of India, RBI, earlier they mentioned that they want to create a dedicated fund, dedicated institutions focusing on the EV, focusing on the infra, focusing on the green energy, focusing on the MSME. So they want to create a separate institutions. Just like, for example, we have a separate supervisory body called SEBI for MSME. We want to create a separate authority for the green energy as well as for the electrical vehicles in the same manner, because these businesses are going to be very huge in future. We have a separate supervisory body called as a NABARD for infra. Okay, so this is a supervisory body like RBI ke hisab se, but government of India and the industry or the market, they wants to create a dedicated NBFCs, dedicated institution, only providing loans, only providing a financial support to the green energy businesses, to financial support to the EVs, financial support to the infrastructure. That is their idea. So everyone is on the same page. Mostly the new institutions will be announced very soon or in this budget. We hope for that. Fingers crossed. Then the limit of recovery and the admitting cases under SARFAESI Act should be reduced to 1 lakh. So for NBFCs, there are some limits because under SARFAESI Act for NBFC, the limit is 20 lakh. The limit is 20 lakh. So if the loans of the pending loans or the NPAs under NBFCs are 20 lakh and above, then only SARFAESI can be implemented. So SARFAESI, for the better implementation of SARFAESI, NBFCs want कि जो 20 लाख का लिमिट है उसे रिड्यूस करके 1 लाख पे लाया जाए, ऐसा उनका कहना है, ऐसी उनकी डिमांड है. And most probably this demand is going to be accepted because even RBI is in the support of this demand. Even RBI also mentioned that there should be a proper SARFAESI reform, especially for the NBFCs. So 20 lakh से लिमिट शायद कम होके 1 लाख पे आ सकती है, which will give a more power to NBFCs to recover their bad loans, to recover their loans, and that will be the major factor. Currently, threshold is 20 lakh, which we have already discussed. NBFC should be treated at par with the banks. This is another major request by the NBFCs, and that is not going to be fulfilled anyhow because the NBFC's structure is altogether different. The banking structure is altogether different. There is a huge difference between the NBFC and the bank's creation and their function. So that is kind of a difficult right now. 10% TDS exemptions to NBFC on the interest income. That is another request. And the exemption request is with respect to taxation might be difficult when it comes to Nirmala Sitharaman ji. She's not going to entertain, I guess, such kind of pointer, but let's hope for the better because NBFCs को survive करना है, they need some breather, they need some liquidity, they need some easy rules and regulations for them. Then the survival will be good for them. Otherwise, NBFCs are really facing some bad phase right now. NBFCs are also called as a shadow bank, उनको shadow bank भी हम लोग कहते हैं. NBFCs are of majorly two types, deposit taking and the non-deposit taking. Deposit taking NBFCs can only accept FD and RD, that is time deposits, whereas non-deposit NBFCs, obviously they are not accepting any kind of deposits. Again, for the regulation purpose, for the better regulation purpose, RBI classified the NBFCs into 4 layers. We have the 4 layers: the base layer, middle layer, upper layer, and the top layer. So 4 layers we have for the regulation purpose of the NBFCs. So base layer means what? Those NBFCs, those non-deposit taking NBFCs whose asset size is 1000 crore or less. अगर 1000 crore और लेस का एसेट साइज है नॉन डिपॉजिट टेकिंग एनबीएफसी का, तो बेस लेयर पे आएगा रेगुलेशन के. मिडिल लेयर, ऑल डिपॉजिट टेकिंग एनबीएफसीज and NBFCs and non-depositing NBFCs with the asset size more than 1000 crore. Again, I am repeating, middle layer NBFC means what? Deposit taking NBFC and those NBFCs whose asset size is more than 1000 crore. Okay, those NBFCs will be under middle layer. यहां पे डिपॉजिट टेकिंग नहीं आएगा, यहां पे केवल नॉन डिपॉजिट टेकिंग आएगा. सारे डिपॉजिट टेकिंग इस लेयर पे चले जाएंगे. देन अपर लेयर. Upper layer will be the small set of NBFCs decided by RBI. RBI will decide which NBFCs will be in the upper layer and which will be not. So time to time, RBI provides notification, RBI provides a notice that which NBFCs will be the part of upper layer. So upper layer is a very small set of group decided by RBI. Last time RBI gave the list of 22, 23 NBFCs under this particular category. Then top layer. Top layer will be ideally empty. This will be ideally empty. Okay, there won't be any NBFC right now, but it is created for the future point of view. Suppose in future some NBFC become very important or systematically important. Okay, then that situation, in that criteria, we will give the entry to that NBFC into top layer. But right now, top layer is empty. A very few NBFCs will be there. It will be depending on RBI. There are no proper rules and regulations mentioned. Now the classification for base and the middle is very clear. Non-deposit taking less than 1000 crore asset size. All deposit taking and the non-deposit taking more than 1000 crore asset size will be in this middle layer, and that is the criteria we have. Now the next news is about the manufacturing sector growth. Now PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, is the name of the index given by S&P Global. So S&P Global is responsible for giving this the PMI, and according to S&P Global, the manufacturing growth of India. Look, PMI are of two types basically, a manufacturing and the service sector. So right now we have the numbers of manufacturing, and the numbers of manufacturing is really very bad. In the last 12 months, this is the lowest growth we have, and that is 56.4. Exactly, starting of 2024, we saw 56.5. Okay, and in the December 2024, it was reduced to 56.4. So, which is a very bad sign. So, might be this quarter is also will not be also that good. जो हम expect कर रहे थे. So, quarter 2 was not that good. So, quarter 3 will be better than quarter 2. But again, whatever the expectations we had, not fulfilled. So, PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. Purchasing Managers Index is not given by Government of India. It is given by S&P Global. Okay, they gave these particular numbers, but Government of India used these numbers because Purchasing Managers Index gave the overall data, the wholesome data. Okay, and this data is really very important. How this data will be really very important, I will tell you. Okay, because they collect the data, how much orders the companies are getting, the sector is getting. इन्वेंट्री कितनी है सेक्टर्स के पास, उसके बाद ह्यूमन रिसोर्स कैसा है, कैपिटल कैसा है, आउटपुट कैसा है, सेलिंग कैसी है. सो एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम द रिसीविंग ऑफ द ऑर्डर्स, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, inventory and the selling of the products, everything is compared or everything is calculated by the Purchasing Managers Index, and that's why these numbers are really very genuine. According to PMI, there is one criteria. If the numbers are less than 50, that means the particular sector is contracting. If the numbers are more than 50, that means the particular sector is kind of a growing or kind of a expanding. So these are the things which are really very important. When it comes to PMI की जब हम बात करेंगे तो फिलहाल हमारा नंबर 56.4 पे आ गया है. It was almost 60. It was almost 60. We touched 60. We touch 59 point something. We also touch 60. So the numbers are coming down now. If the numbers are coming down, so which is a very bad situation for the economy because it is going towards 50. So the sector is contracting. The number should go beyond or like far from the 50 towards 100. Then the sector will be kind of expanding. So that is a point which is mentioned here. Service sector's number are yet to come. When service sector numbers will come, we are definitely going to talk about those things. Now, India's credit market is K-shaped, says the Nomura. Nomura is one of the another financial firm, one of the very famous financial firm. They are saying credit market of India is K-shaped. K-shaped का मतलब क्या होता है? K-shaped economy. ये बेसिकली इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ कैलकुलेट करने के लिए यूज करने वाला एक मॉडल है, जैसे वी शेप इकोनॉमी, डब्ल्यू शेप इकोनॉमी, यू शेप इकोनॉमी. नाउ वी शेप इकोनॉमी का मतलब क्या होता है? सपोज इकोनॉमी इज गोइंग डाउन एंड देन सडनली गोइंग अप, इज कॉल्ड वी शेप इकोनॉमी. U shape economy is going down, then taking some time and then growing up, is called W shape. There is something called as a U shape, something called as a W shape. W shape means what? Economy is going down, then up, then again down, then again up, called as a W shape. Now this is about the credit market. This is not about the economy. This is about the credit market. Now K shape. K shape means what? K. Some sectors will grow properly and some sectors will grow downwards. Okay. Some sectors will go positively and some sectors will grow negatively. That is called K-shaped economy. Same concept will be implemented for the credit. Credit के लिए भी same concept रहेगा. Now, some sectors of the Indian economy, they are getting very good results. They are getting very good investments. They are getting very good income or the interest. So those sectors are growing properly. And some sectors are not growing properly, not even having enough money to grow. Especially MSME sector of our country is not having enough money to grow properly. So when it comes to K-shape, means what? There is no equal growth in the country. There is no uniformity in the growth when it comes to the country. Either it's credit or overall GDP, because some sectors are going down and some sectors are growing very, very handsomely, and that is called K-shape. Indian economy, after COVID-19, after recovery of COVID-19, experiencing this shape of economy. Even when it comes to credit sector, only for the credit sector, we are also facing the same issue, that some people are getting huge amount of loan without even calculating the risk scenario, and some industries or some sectors, they're absolutely not getting a single penny from the investor, single penny from the banks because of the huge risk. So no uniformity is there, and that is the point mentioned by the Nomura. Government of India के सामने ये challenge बहुत बड़ा है. Even RBI is also facing this challenge, that there is no uniformity when it comes to the credit creation of this country. Let's hope what they are going to do. Now, another simple but at the same time very important news for us. There was one report presented by RBI, and the name of the report is called as a KLEMS report. KLEMS report. This report is given by Reserve Bank of India. The report is called as Capital, Labor, Energy, Material and Services. Capital, Labor, Energy, Material, Services. This is the name of the report. This report is focusing on 6 sectors. 6 sectors के ऊपर ये report focus करता है, and under 6 sectors there are 27 different types of industries के ऊपर ये focus करेगा. बेसिकली इस रिपोर्ट का काम क्या होता है कि हमारे 27 इंडस्ट्रीज के पास कैपिटल कितना है, एनर्जी मींस एनर्जी वैल्यूएशन कैसे है, मटेरियल्स कैसे है, इनके पास सर्विसेज किस तरीके से है, और लेबर कैसा अवेलेबल है. Depending on that we can understand the growth of the industry, the growth of the sector. So RBI every time give this report called as a KLEMS report, and depending on that report we came to know about one number, one data, and the data is about the employment. Now this data is saying from 14 to 24, means last 10 years, new jobs, 172 million new jobs being created in India, and that is this RBI's data is telling us. ये RBI का data हमें बता रहा है. So Mansukh Mandaviya sir is the Labor and Employment Minister of India. In his interview he discussed about these particular numbers, but the numbers are given by RBI, and that's why it's very important. So according to RBI's KLEMS report, from in the last decade, in the last 10 years in India, we created 172 million new jobs. New jobs or the additional jobs we have created. In 2024 itself, we created 46 million new jobs. 46 million नए जॉब हमने 2024 में क्रिएट किया है. So the data is about the new job. This news is very important. So go through this news properly. एक बार इस न्यूज को अच्छे से पढ़िएगा, प्रॉपरली ग्रो थ्रू कीजिए. एवरीथिंग इज मेंशन हियर. नाउ द फ्रेश जॉब्स एग्रीकल्चर में अगर हम बात करें 19% ग्रोथ है फ्रेश जॉब्स की, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में 15% ग्रोथ है, एंड सर्विस सेक्टर में 36% ग्रोथ है अगर फ्रेश जॉब्स की बात की जाए. सो सर्विस सेक्टर इज हैविंग अ वेरी हैंडसम ग्रोथ ऑफ 36%. एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में 2014 से पहले ग्रोथ निगेटिव में थी, बट आफ्टर 2014 द ग्रोथ इज इन पॉजिटिव, दैट इज मेंशन्ड बाय द लेबर मिनिस्ट्री हियर. एंड अंडर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर द ग्रोथ रेट वाज 6%, नाउ द ग्रोथ रेट इज 15%, which is also mentioned by the labor ministry. It is important for us. Okay, चलो ध्यान रखिएगा. Okay, NBFC come under the RBI regulation. Okay, look, when it comes to the monetary policy, monetary policy tools are for overall economy. If suppose some tools of monetary policy is changing with respect to bank, automatically it will be having impact on NBFC. Automatically it will be having impact on NBFC because many non-deposit taking NBFCs, they are borrowing money from the banks. Or many NBFCs are keeping their money with the banks itself. So if something is changing with the banks, automatically it will get reflected with the NBFC. Reflect होगा. Okay. And when it comes to regulation, yes, RBI regulating NBFCs separately. RBI NBFCs को separately regulate करता है. But when it comes to monetary policy, when with respect to monetary policy, yes, impact will be there on NBFC. Not directly, but yes, indirectly there will be definite impact on them. ये भी एक factor याद रखना. Okay, CRR. Look, no change with the CRR. Look, if the CRR is changing, no direct impact on NBFC because NBFCs CRR तो रखती नहीं है. Okay, बट बैंकों का लिक्विडिटी अगर उससे बढ़ता है, बैंकों का लिक्विडिटी अगर उससे कम होता है, तो ऑफ कोर्स NBFC बीइंग अ कस्टमर ऑफ द बैंक, they are going to experience some changes. Okay, so why we reduce the CRR? The reason is that there should be more liquidity with the bank. अगर बैंक के पास लिक्विडिटी बढ़ जाएगी तो ऑटोमेटिक मार्केट में पैसा भी बढ़ जाएगा. NBFCs are borrowing money, so they will get the more money. They will get the money with less interest rate. So impact will be there, but CRR का direct impact NBFCs के ऊपर नहीं होगा because most of the NBFCs are non-deposit taking, and they are not coming under the RBI Act of 1934 second schedule. So they are not going to keep the money with RBI. So there won't be direct impact on the NBFCs, either deposit taking or the non-deposit taking, because they are not coming under the RBI Act of 1934 second schedule. So no direct impact, but yes, there will be indirect impact. Remember that factor. Okay. I'll go to the next. The next is very important. Pig butchering is a new scam which is mentioned by the Home Affairs Ministry. Home Affairs Ministry recently created one institution called as a I4C. I4C is the name of the institution created by the Home Ministry. The full form of this institution is Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center is called I4C. This coordination center is responsible to check on Indian cyber frauds, digital frauds, and every time this I4C is doing a very good job. They give awareness, they provide awareness to the common people regarding different kind of scams, different kind of frauds. Last time this I4C gave the name of the scam called digital arrest. Even the Prime Minister of India in his Mann Ki Baat talked about the digital arrest. Under digital arrest, some people are faking their identity as a police officer and they're calling you. They're faking their identity as a custom officer and they're video calling you and telling you कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है, इसको अरेस्ट कर लिया, उसको अरेस्ट कर लिया, आपका कोई पार्सल आ गया, उसके अंदर कुछ ऐसी चीजें जो एंटी नेशनल है, सो आपको फाइन पे करना पड़ेगा, such kind of thing. Now, the another awareness campaign started by the I4C under the Home Ministry, and the campaign is called as a pig butchering scam campaign. What is pig butchering? Some unknown person is going to be a friend with you on social media, either on the Instagram or in the Facebook or the WhatsApp, Telegram, anywhere. Okay, they will be your friend. Okay, वो आपसे बातचीत करेंगे, दोस्ती करेंगे. पहले बहुत अच्छी खासी बातचीत होगी, कुछ दिनों के लिए, कुछ महीनों के लिए, बिल्कुल पर्सनल लेवल पे बातचीत होगी, अच्छा खासा ट्रस्ट आपका जीत लेंगे. And then after few months, they will guide you that you should save your money here, you should invest your money there, you should invest your money in the cryptocurrency or such kind of funds, etc., etc. नाउ इतने दिनों की आपकी बातचीत थी, इतने दिनों का आपका डिस्कशन था, तो ट्रस्ट तो बन जाता है, और उस ट्रस्ट के चक्कर में यू विल इन्वेस्ट योर मनी इन सम काइंड ऑफ ऐसी जगहों पे जहां पे आपका पैसा डूब जाएगा. पिग बुचरिंग, दे आर लिटरली गोइंग टू किल ऑल योर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. आपके सारे इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बर्बाद हो जाएंगे, आपका सारा पैसा उड़ जाएगा. एंड अंडर पिग बुचरिंग दे आर having some patience, they are showing some patience, creating that trust, okay, building that trust with the particular person, and then wrong advices will be given and the wrong investment policies will be given, and through that सारा का सारा पैसा आपका लेके भाग जाएंगे. Now on social media, many of the time, especially with the young generation, this is happening, like for the dating purposes, for the marriage purposes, for some kind of socialized purposes, people are connecting with each other. Okay, the affection will be there, and that affection can lead to such kind of scams. Okay, so ये बड़ा चल रहा है आजकल. It's very very famous these days, called as a pig butchering, which is given by the Home Affairs Ministry. Remember one thing, in India, when it comes to cyber security, when it comes to such kind of frauds, I4C is the new entity created by the Home Ministry under Amit Shah sir's ministry, and this I4C is doing amazing job these days. Rashmika Mandana, one of the very famous Indian actress, she is the brand ambassador of the I4C. इसकी brand ambassador है. That can be another question for the exam point of view. Now, the last news of the day, Blinket, everyone knows the fast commerce company, the e-commerce company Blinket, they announced 10-minute ambulance services, especially in Gurgaon right now, in Gurugram right now. Blinket is a Gurugram based company itself, so they started the 10 minutes ambulance services, the first of its kind service in our country, 10 minutes ambulance service through Blinket. Very soon they are going to launch this service all over India, all the cities of India, but right now they launched this service in Gurugram. It's a very good announcement, a very big announcement, because a kind of a different kind of a structure we are going to experience in our country. These fast commerce companies, they are playing a huge role. You can see the Zepto, Meesho, Blinkit, Instamart, then there are so many other companies, they are working with these fast commerce. Within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they are going to deliver everything to you. Blinkit is working under Zomato. Zomato actually purchased Blinkit, so it's one of the subsidiary of Zomato, and they launched this new concept recently. So let's hope for the other things in future, other surprises in future under these kind of sectors. So yes guys, that's all from my side for the day. ये था हमारा आज का करंट अफेयर्स, ये था हमारा आज का करंट अफेयर्स का अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो दिस इज द कूपन कोड विच यू कैन यूज टू सब्सक्राइब और टू बी द पार्ट ऑफ आवर Testbook Super Coaching, where Laksh 2.0 batch is already being started. A new batch where you can be the part of phase 1, phase 2 and interview preparation. Okay, that's all from my side for the day. We'll see you in the next session. चलो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में आपसे मुलाकात होगी. तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टेक केयर. ओके, यस गाइस.